Lasagna alla Parmigiano is based on cheese. What Italian dish is complete without Parmigiano Reggiano? Cook, enjoy, and savor every moment. Enjoyment and laughter. Beautiful. Hello, friends. Chef, as always, with the quickest, brightest, and tastiest recipes. So we all love meat lasagna. Oh, you are all doing great. I see that sometimes on social media when you post how your lasagnas turn out, my heart just starts. Thank you for that. So there is lasagna. There is lasagna alla Parmigiano. The essence of it is that it's almost the same, except there is no meat. Same tomato sauce, I prepared it in advance. Heat olive oil, onion, garlic, and dried thyme. Saute until the tomatoes reach a classic translucent state. Add pepper and salt here. Now just wait for it to boil. Let it simmer for 2 minutes. And then it's ready to serve. Of course, eggplants and a large amount of cheese. For mozzarella cheese, I took an inexpensive pizza cheese. Grated. The more cheese, the better. And of course, what Italian dish is complete without Parmigiano Reggiano? By the way, there's no Parmigiano here, but you can use Grana Padano. It's clear that we need fresh basil and, of course, eggplants. So what do? As I taught you when we made lasagna with meat, the water is boiling. As always, I add a small amount of olive oil. We need to fry the eggplants for this recipe. Although, to be honest, they can be fried or baked. You can also use the flesh of the eggplant, the fillet, that is, take it and bake it. Today I don't want to bake. Today I will just simply follow a more or less classic recipe. And that means I cut the eggplants, as you can see, into these thin slices. There is no idea to slice either very thin or very thick. Here you just need to cut the eggplant and fry them. So basically what I'm doing now is finishing cutting the eggplants. And as per our style, let's head to the stove. So guys, let's move on. So what am I doing? I took a lamb chop and accordingly a napkin. I did this because we will be frying the eggplants in a good amount of oil. Of course, we will place it on a napkin so that the towel or napkin absorbs all the unnecessary moisture. Here the water is salted, a small amount of olive oil has been added, and I have cold water in the sink because we will immediately transfer the dough to the cold water so it doesn't overcook. Eggplants are cooked in vegetable oil. There is no understanding of what oil we will fry with. We all know that if you cook with extra virgin olive oil, it will taste bitter. We will cook with classic vegetable oil for the eggplants. Here, I repeat, there is nothing genius about it. Main task now is simply to take and fry the eggplants until they are cooked. You know, often I go to a place, order eggplants because I love them, and almost every time I send them back to the kitchen, or I immediately ask the guys to fry the eggplants longer. Because eggplant is not some rubbery substance. Eggplant is about flavor and texture. It should dissolve. You should feel it, and when you sit there chewing it like gum, that's not right. By the way, honestly and openly, does this often happen to you that when you order eggplants in a restaurant, you, for example, receive a raw dish, raw eggplants? It's funny if any of you watch Hell's Kitchen or MasterChef. There. Eggplants are often undercooked. It's best to fry the eggplants on the stove until they are fully cooked. By the way, regarding salt, I won't salt the eggplants while they are frying so that it doesn't get messed up today, because the moisture will start to come out. Therefore, the fried eggplants will be placed here. We'll sprinkle them with salt when I'm actually layering them in the lasagna. Everything is about the pasta. As I said, we cook the pasta till it's ready. Don't try to just throw all the pasta in at once. Haste is not needed here at all. I have told you more than once that if you decided to cook for yourself and dedicate time to it just as you dedicate time to yourself, prepare beautifully, turn on Ivlev Chef channel, buy the ingredients, stop by Ivlev Chef Bivai Home Kitchen, buy any missing utensils, and cook, enjoy, and savor the delicious food. The first batch of eggplants. We are laying down new ones. Don't forget, if needed, to add some oil if we need to pour it in. Just so you understand, indeed, eggplants feel much better and fry much better in a large amount of oil. I bought the pasta normally. It's a bit broken, but that happens too. It means it's not a very quality supplier. Wow, this little kalinka is not very pleasant. Let's check the other leaves to see how they feel. The lasagna sheets should definitely be here, but they don't have to be in large quantities. Very strange, slightly low quality pasta. Now we can just slightly reduce the temperature because the pan has reached a good temperature and the oil is very well heated. Don't think that after frying, for example, eggplant in oil, you need to drain the oil and can't use it anymore. Guys, respect your money. Let the oil cool through a very fine sieve or a waffle towel, strain it, and you can continue to work with it. For example, you can fry the same sauté for one soups, borscht. It's better not to fry potatoes because the aroma of eggplant remains. but you can use it for some types of frying, like a solyanka, for example, with cabbage. So the eggplants are fried, and I have prepared the sauce in advance for you. Have some green basil left, and we will just layer it with the leaves. 2 types of cheese, mozzarella for pizza, and accordingly Parmesan. The pasta is all broken like this. But pasta is pasta. There's nothing scary about it. Moreover, this is still in the style of lasagna, a casserole where this issue is not visible. And moreover, I am not cooking to sell this. I cook it for myself and for home. Now we begin to assemble the lasagna in the classic way. But let's not forget, just in case, that this is lasagna alla Parmesan, which is primarily based on cheese. There is no meat here. For the first layer, tomato sauce. Now we lay out the eggplants. They are placed as the first layer. Number of layers is actually not important. When I was making lasagna for you, I mentioned that Italians taught me that the more layers in the pasta, the tastier it is. Agree. In this whole story, it doesn't matter how many layers we will have, how many will turn out. As promised, we placed the eggplants. And here, first of all, we will add mozzarella. Now I want to take fresh green basil and tear it by hand like this beautifully. Hang it out here. Now I start adding the pasta. I specifically placed this napkin here to absorb the excess moisture. Let's do it this way. Let's love it like this. Here I want to add a little tomato sauce. I'm 1,000,000% sure that the Italians themselves don't pay attention to what the layers should be. Is there, for example, any kind of order? Actually have the feeling that there is no order at all. The most important thing is for it to be tasty. And when it's tasty, then it's tasty. So let's add a little more eggplant again. Let me just take a tiny little bit of basil. I can already anticipate the question. Chef, we live somewhere far away. Don't have mozzarella cheese or Parmesan cheese. Can we use Russian cheese, sausage cheese, suluguni, smoked, classic, and similar types, like a headscarf? Yes, I believe you can use all of this. You don't need to ask anyone for permission. You are first and foremost cooking for yourself. What do they differ in, like Parmesan from some other cheese? In spiciness, flavor? So, I once cooked and told you that if there's an opportunity to use smoked suluguni, I always try to use it instead of Parmesan. I like it. In this case, I still want more classic Mediterranean notes, which is why I didn't take suluguni. Look at what I'm doing. It can never be too much cheese. Lasagna alla Parmigiana is, of course, about the fact that the more cheese, the better and tastier it is. Yes, richer. Just like that. I'm simply evening out this whole thing. Now we have whipped the mozzarella cheese. We will sprinkle some Parmesan on top, just like that. Very important point. On one hand, all our ingredients are ready, but we still need to let them marry a little. If we don't cover it, the cheese will bake and burn. Just need to cover it with foil. My oven is preheated to 190 degrees. I will leave it like this for 20 minutes. And then I will carefully open it and bake for another 10 delicious minutes. You can calmly relax and watch other amazing recipes on Ivlev Chef channel for a while for 30 incredible minutes. So, well, time's up. Just look at this truly incredible beauty, a masterpiece. So guys, I see everything has come together, but we still need to let it cool a bit for about 10-15 minutes, and then we will taste it. In general, this is how they do it in Italy. Whether it's meat, lasagna, or this one, they bake it, and if it's in restaurants, they wait for it to cool completely. After that, they simply take it out, cut it into portions. They wrap everything in plastic wrap and place it in the refrigerator. Before serving, they put it in a long dish, pour tomato sauce over it, and heat it up. So delicious, unreal. Oh, how the knife hides. Well, you understand, right, how much cheese is there? So, can you see? Well, just look at this. It's beautiful. The cheese, you see, has melted everywhere. Eggplants, pasta, macaroni. By the way, you can come here and see the layers. I don't want to say anything to you. It's delicious, period. Bye. See you very soon.